Dear Liam, in your last letter, you asked me if not drinking ever gets easier and if I had any insights. And before we get into that, I think it's important to clarify that there's a difference between being an expert and being an asshole who pretends to be one for views on the internet. And there's a difference between someone who is sober and someone who chooses not to drink. And I'm only an expert in my own experience, and that is the experience of being a guy who chooses not to drink and doesn't think about it very often. But my dad, now, he is sober, and he has been for almost 40 years, and as a result, I grew up in a house very well versed in the rhetoric of the 12 steps, of asking for the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And on that note, I think it might be helpful to give yourself the grace of a judgment-free step back and ask yourself why you have the desire to quit in the first place, and why there are feelings of guilt and failure associated with it. Because for what it's worth, I think you're a pretty remarkable person regardless. On that note, I was thinking about your annual bingo card, and I was hoping you could give me some tips on how to get excited about the future. I've been having a hard time with that recently. Looking forward to the oranges. Love you, man. Blake.